from 1999, when Nigeria returned to constitutional democracy, Abia State in the southeast of the country has been one of the strongholds of the People's Democratic Party. In that time, the party had produced 4 civilian governors in the state, including Dr. Ogbonna Yaonu, Dr. Orji Uzokalu, Theodore Orji, and the incumbent Dr. Okezie Ikpeazu. How have the people fared under the aforementioned leaders? Well, obviously not so well, according to our next guest, Mary Ikoku, who's a House of Representatives aspirant for the Ohafia Federal Constituency seat. For some time, Mary had been one of the most consistent voices in social activism in Nigeria, particularly on issues affecting women's rights and development in the education sector. She said her ambition is born out of a genuine desire to trigger a movement in Abia State, which would ultimately ease PDP out of governance while ushering in real dividends of democracy from the APC. You're welcome to the morning show, Mary. Thank you very much for joining us. If we were to jump straight into the facts, you'd be well aware, as I've just read, that the PDP, the People's Democratic Party, have been the party in power since the start of civilian rule in Nigeria. The term stronghold is not to be taken lightly. There seems to be a level, if we look at that track record of compliance and satisfaction with the level of governance the PDP have offered to the people of Abia State. So what is it that you think you're going to do to unwork those years of solidarity between the people of Abia and the People's Democratic State, being that you don't have expressed political experience? Do you think that the APC are staunchly behind you? Do you think that they believe that you have the real opportunity to take this state? Or do you think that they're using you as a position of you perhaps getting some political experience, being that there may not be a big chance of you actually taking that seat from the PDP? What are your thoughts?
This is a very interesting conversation, I think. Yes, PDP have been leading the state in the last, it's over 22 years, really, since 1999 of our nascent democracy. So since 1999, the state hasn't quite had very visible development. So PDP, people have asked me why APC and why not PDP. Some also ask me, why are you going for House of Reps? Why not governor? So I've gotten all those kind of questions, you know. But the truth is that I do not see any sane citizen of Abia State camping with PDP after all of these years of what I will call perennial misrule. I'm not just new in politics. Yes, I've been in activism, rights activism. I've been fighting for good governance and all of that, and fighting for the rights of women and children. But the truth is that you get at some point in your life, you realize that sitting in your comfort zone may not be good enough, that you would need to join the fray to be able to cause change, positive change in development. So if you look at the case of Abia State, it's not quite long. Now, this is a state where you hear tangible development like attracting ShopRite, attracting Domino's, attracting, private businesses, own businesses to a state as what you hear as a critical infrastructure that has been brought to the state. So infrastructure deficit is one key point of one deficit area that Abia is grappling with. Apart from having a leadership that over the years that haven't quite generated visible development for the people. So I looked at it. I am someone who also have a lot of introspection and consultation. I consult widely and also do some self-searching, seeking, and also to say what would be the best platform to run. Now, my first thing is, why are you running? I'm running because I want to bring development to my people. I'm running because there is need to fix the infrastructure deficit, and also running because my people need an effective and qualitative representation. The constituency is Arochukwu Ohafia Federal Constituency, by the way. And this is a constituency that have all of these years experienced a very terrible road infrastructure. In fact, Arochukwu and Ohafia are two brothers that have been divided by a poor road network. And I'm coming to ensure that this brotherhood or sisterhood is being brought back so that the relationship we've had all of these years will not be strained by bad road, which makes us not to visit each other often. And again, why APC? APC may be young, maybe just about 8 years in Nigeria. It's also the largest political party in Africa. And if you like, there are just two big parties in the country. So if you want to run an election, I don't play small. Even in activism, you've seen I've been a strong voice for women and youth development. I've been a strong voice for good governance. So if I want to join the fray to bring development to the people, I would also have to look at what would be the best platform to run. And for me, APC ticks all the points for me. APC is new, so it would also deal with the teething problems that you go through when you're starting a new business. So you will see APC going through those teething problems. But increasingly, APC would normalize, and Abia, we will take back our state. I believe that APC will be the party to rescue Abia State from over 22 years of misrule. And I know that I am very confident that if given the ticket of my party, that the people of Arochukwu Ohafia Federal Constituency are not looking at even parties. They're looking at individuals. They're looking at people. I mean, 2023 will be filled with surprises. Yes, you said PDP has had a stronghold in Abia State, but I do not believe that the people of Abia State love misery. They've been dealing with it for so many years, and I am very confident that 2023 will be a defining moment for our people, and we will win back our state. We will rescue the state from years of misrule, years of no visible development, and we will form a new government, a progressive government for Abia State, a government which policies.
All right, yes. Mary, sorry to cut in there, because of time, we're trying to manage time. I mean, I like the fact that you're putting yourself forward, moving from activism to politics. Just two quick questions. First, you say that you do not play small, you like to play big. And I see that, that shows in joining the biggest party in Nigeria and indeed in Africa. Part of playing big means that you have invested 10 million into your political aspiration. Tell us, did that come from your pocket, or did the youths or people of Arochukwu and Ohafia raise the money for you? That's our first question. Second part is the fact that you have to play the politics. And I know that in Abia, there are factions already. There is the Obioma faction. There is the Emenike faction. Which one do you belong to? And how are you playing the politics at the local level? Because all politics is local.
Okay, thank you. The first question is the form.
Yes.
Okay, the form is actually very interesting. The form was purchased for me by a woman from my constituency, from Abia North. So on just hearing that I'm running, she just said, I have to be the one to buy your form, because I know that when people like yourself go into politics, our constituency will be better. I don't want anybody to take this form, but the buying of this form from me, let me be the one to pick your form. So that was how my form was paid for. And then again, when it comes to, and also our party, the All Progressives Congress, have also made it, try to encourage women's political participation by ensuring that the women are paying for expression of interest form and not the nomination form. So it makes it a lot more easier. So you have another 9 million naira to continue your ward round and spending till the primaries is over. So this is how party supports women political inclusion. And they need to also go beyond that to ensure that there is proportional representation and make sure that they intentionally, as a party, if whether it's through indirect primaries or through consensus, field candidates who will win elections for the party. And I mean candidates who have invested in the party, candidates who bring value to the party, and candidates who have character, competence, capacity, and courage, and people who have compassion that people can vote for. So I'm looking to see that our party I will pick my party's ticket come May 24th. And then the second question you asked, I think it's around, I'm trying to remember.
The local politics and the factions in Abia APC, the local politics there.
Oh, yes. Okay. So great. And first of all, we need to actually describe what faction is. So I do not see, from my understanding of what a faction is that, so the APC have conducted Ward Congress, LG Congress, and State Congress. And each of these congresses had the party at the national sending committees, Congress committees, to conduct those congresses. And now when it comes to Abia State, a 7-man committee, a 7-persons committee, was sent to Abia State to conduct our primaries. Yes, I had to correct that, to conduct our primaries. And when you have a faction, I need to have this clarity for us. When you say Abia's APC has faction, when a party is said to have to be factionalized, is when of those 7 persons committee that the party sent to conduct Congress in the state, if a group in APC, Abia State, are able to muzzle their way and get people out of those 7-man committee, 7-persons committee, and hold their own Congress, the party has become factionalized. That is my understanding of faction. But what we have currently in Abia State is that what Congress was done, LG Congress was done, and State Congress was done. And there was at no point in time where this 7-persons committee that was sent by the national party to the state were factionalized. Every sub-member of that committee were in one place, conducted their congresses, and delivered consensus candidate. First time we had a party chairman who passed on a few months after the state congress, by name Enyinaya Habo. So when he passed, the party at the national, through another round of Congress, also sent people to organize and conduct another Congress for the state. So if you ask me, I think that I would describe Abia not as having a faction. Rather, Abia State is dealing with a situation where we have big, how would I call it, some strong men and women in the party who are aggrieved that the convention or congresses didn't go the way they would have wished it. And if that is the case, in every family, there are bound to be problems, there are bound to be misunderstanding. What is before us right now is an election. In a few days, our primaries will come. Okay. And you understand that the APC is very, very certain and about Abia State and the leadership of the party at Abia State. I am with the party.
Just because we are running out of time, I just wanted to talk about something that you are so passionate about, because you're, one of the most consistent voices in social activism in Nigeria, like you've said, particularly on issues affecting women's rights. Now, the plight for the release of Leah Sharibu, whose 19th birthday is today, is still in the front border. She is still in the hands of Boko Haram. We played a video earlier where her mother was appealing to the government. She says the government has been slow in efforts to get her released. I'd love your comments with regards to her plea and how you intend to include this activism in your campaign.
So when each time today also has been that kind of day for me, you have low energy. So, and it's because it's Leah's 19th birthday, and you know that we always mark her birthday. And it's also a sad day, realizing that this young woman is still in captivity. And just to say that even in my manifesto, security is one top item on it. And it is about working with the locals and ensuring that our constituency is protected somewhat. And that goes also to Leah Sharibu to ask the federal government that our child, Leah, a Christian girl who was kidnapped among other girls, but for lack of denouncing her faith, she was held. And that we need to still do something, and that we will not back down until Leah is brought back. Not just Leah, our Chibok girls are still being held captive. We still have 109 girls in captivity, plus Leah Sharibu. It is really unfortunate, and then these things happen, and I also want to say that security is a collective responsibility. And that's why people like us advocates, I cannot leave activism. I am going into politics to see how one can fix problems for my people. Because over the years, you've continued to speak, being a strong voice for my people, and being a strong voice for Leah Sharibu. I want to also take a step further to see what laws I can make, to see how one can use the instrument of law to fix problems, how one can use the legislation to correct some of the ills in our society, and to see how I can make sure that the constituency fund of Arochukwu Ohafia Federal Constituency is returned to the people so that they can feel the impact of what this fund can do in alleviating them and taking them away out of poverty and building critical infrastructure and making sure that our youths and our women are well taken care of through capacity building, through entertainment, IT hubs, and making sure that women and children are treated better. I'm going to make laws that will address the historical imbalances that women and girls have continued to face in my side of the country. Today, there will be a judgment, yes, that have given
just land on your thoughts,
the girl child, access,
Go on, please. Go on. We're
Do
just
you want
about
me to land, or
yes,
you want
please.
me to?
Just land on your point.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Okay. Okay. So I was saying that there's a Supreme Court judgment that have put to rest the idea that a girl child from the Southeast cannot inherit her father's wealth. So when voices like myself get into the parliament, a lot of things will change. I would at least increase the voices of women in the parliament. And you remember the gender bills that were thrown away.
Yes.
496 parliamentarians, only 24 are women. We need to increase the number, and it's my hope that the delegates from Arochukwu Ohafia Federal Constituency will do it right by electing me to run the party ticket and win the vote for them. Because my election, the general election,
All right, Mary.
when I'm made the candidate of the party,
Okay.
it will be across board. Everybody will vote for me. Thank you very much.
Thank you so
Thank you
much,
very
Mary
much.
Ikoku. We wish you the very best in your quest, to combine activism with politics. Thank you so much for joining us.